Welcome to our weekly energy forecast and meditation. Sabina.
I'm Juna, and we're from Synergy in Motion,
where it's all about empowering you to live true to you. And every week we bring you a piece of wisdom, some inspiration for you to play and contemplate with in the following week or as long as you wish. And it's inspired by the I-Ching, human design and gene keys, and the cycle of the year, which brings naturally some themes forth. And we're this week looking at
Hexagram 4 from the I-Ching, and it's called Youthful Folly or Childhood. So this is an energy of innocence. It's an energy that's looking for answers. There is a quote that you might have heard of from the prayer of St. Francis, and we were reminded of this in the last week. And it is, do not seek to be understood as much as to understand. So this really is capturing the heart of our forecast this week is seek to understand. And we're in this quarter of relationships. So what a beautiful gift to seek to understand someone else rather than trying to make ourselves understood. And can you feel the tension of when you're trying to get someone to understand you and they don't, and then you go to your mind and you use logic and reason, like, why don't they understand me? Well, if we would seek to understand, and not through the mind, but through the heart. So really letting go of any expectation of what you think the relationship should be, what you think the other person should be or do or act. This is really a saving grace for any kind of intolerance that pops up. When you're in this level of intolerance in a relationship, and we've all had it, we can be intolerant, especially of the people that are closest to us. You're like, why are they doing that? How come they don't do it the way I do it? And we can become really intolerant and then go to our mind and then try to use logic and reason to sort it out with them, to try to figure out, well, if you just did this way, then this would happen. But it's not about logic. It's about the heart. It's about the emotions. And Richard Rudd from the Gene Keys really says it beautifully. When we have an unresolved emotional pattern, what we tend to do is create an intricate framework of logical reasons and possibilities of why this happens. And that framework masquerades as the truth. And we carry that around like a house of cards. We can build an entire house of cards around a person, our loved one. We think that's the way they are. That's how it is. And the question is, do you have the courage, the French word for heart is cœur. Do you have the courage to pull out that card and let the whole house of cards come falling down of your mental certainty about who you think that other person is, how that relationship should be, all your expectations and projections and judgments of that situation with that person? It takes a lot of courage and bravery to seek to understand rather than just to slap it away and go, it's their problem. Blame is one of the oldest patterns, emotional patterns on earth, like blame, guilt, and all of these things that we do in relation. Yeah, that creates the separation, us and them, you and me. So to really get into the mysteries of co-creation, it is truly seek to understand more than trying to get your point across, trying to get your opinion across to someone else. So this is really the gift of Hexagram 4. It is true understanding, the understanding that comes from the heart, not from logic, not from the mind, because when we go to the mind, we can create these incredibly intense and intricate constructs about how it is and how it should be, and it's all only based in opinion, right? So it's we got to get out of fact, opinion, everything that separates, and then come into what does my heart say.
And it really embraces the difference from a point of love and compassion, and it doesn't create a grudge. It doesn't create war. Difference doesn't create, you need to be like me, and thus I have to convince you of my point of view. But it creates, wow, you're different. I get it somehow, but I don't even have to understand. But I can love anyways. And that's a way of living that truly also invites the magic of life to come forth. Because magic does not work based on logic. It works on what is present, and that you can access with your heart, not with your mind. Because your mind is either in the past or in the future, rarely in the present moment.
Yeah, so if you're suffering about any relationship you're in, you want to have the courage to look at your own resistance to what is actually happening in that interaction with you and that person. And just really clear out any intolerance and any of the head trippy stuff, and look at, okay, what is actually happening now? And just be present. It's like 2/3 listening, 1/3 talking. Really listen, wait, be open. And it's in the space of this openness and this spaciousness of the heart where the answers can gently, softly land. It's not when we bulldoze our way through and we try to push to get the answer, push to make someone be different than who they are. It's opening up and receiving and being in this spaciousness where, grace may come, answers may come.
Awareness may unfold, And the little secret tip here is that we're talking about relationships outside, but it's also the relationship with yourself. And thus, it's all of life. Really loving all of life and understanding, in the widest term, life. And having a sense for it. But we're just focusing for the fun of it on relationship in the next quarter.
And it's about being in the now moment, being present, and really letting go of all those expectations and projections that you have, all the stories and the past, and really being right here, right now.
And that I just realized that means you can fall in love every moment new. How fun is that? So let's fall in love with the meditation. Get your body comfortable. And give yourself a big smile. Just like, yes. And show it on your face. Not just an energetic smile, but a real one. Big, fat smile. And with that, take a deep breath in. And let it go. And again. And take this moment to come present with yourself, to come home to yourself. And in that space, your sacred space, connect with your energetic heart. The space from which you care, from which you love, from which a deep understanding can unfold that goes way beyond the mind. A deep knowing. And allow your attention to wander to someone, something, or somewhere that you love, who opens your heart, allowing gratitude to pour out of you. Just take this time to really open that energy flow. Pour that love into that space, or to that person, or to whatever it is that in this moment tickles forth your superpower of loving. And with that energy, perceive how your space expands. Embracing and welcoming all of life. And when you are in this space, perceive the parts of you that are not quite ready to be in this space. Parts of you that try to understand with your mind, try to fix things, try to change the outside. Try to explain yourself of why. And just welcome those parts in that space. And expand that space of your heart even further to include all of those parts of you who try to mentally understand.
Come to certainty about things.
and try to solve problems. And the parts of you that don't feel understood, really create the space for all of those parts and be present with them. You don't have to do anything about them, just be present and love. And listen without having to mentally understand, but listen from your heart. Just let them know you're there. You hear, you see, you love them. Allow your awareness to expand even further and become aware how, as you holding the parts of you, all of life holds you and loves you. And just become aware of how you're held and how you're holding yourself in that space of loving, caring, and gratitude. Even in the most challenging situations, particularly in those situations where you're confronted with difficulties, your own shadows or the shadows of others. And for this moment, just be present from that space of understanding with your heart. And maybe you can perceive the grace of forgiveness filling this space too, forgiving yourself for not listening to yourself or doing something that you regret, that you're ashamed of. Or for missing something. And forgiving others for that which hurt you, that which was difficult, And this is an energy that comes from your heart, from loving. And from this space of your heart, allow your whole body, your whole system to realign to this, to heal the hurt in your relationship, in yourself. Allow a new balance to unfold, a balance in loving. Which does not mean that you forget. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or agreeing. It just allows you to understand from a different point of view that gives you the power to actually change, be changed. To create something different. And together, let's put these fields of loving together and expand them. Yeah, let's include our planet and this present time. And the way that we humans relate with ourselves, with each other, with the seen world, and with the unseen world. And let's just be present in that loving understanding and that curiosity to understand even more from that space. No matter how difficult the situation is, let's be strong in that caring, in that loving, being present with this world. And each other. And now allow yourself to open up even wider and allow the love that is there for you to flow in. As you're loving, allow yourself to be loved deeply. And in this expanded space, become aware of this present moment, your body, and how you're held in this space. Really perceive the power of love and connecting from that space with yourself and the other. And perceive our love for you and our gratitude for you. Because it's big. Very, very grateful for you playing in this time on this planet as you, becoming more and more of you. Love it. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And please play. Be curious. Try to understand with your heart. Mm-hmm. Let your mind be like a child trying to figure it out and probing everywhere. But truly where understanding comes from is in here. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this week, and thank you for that meditation. And we will see you next time for another hexagram and wonder what it will be. Okay, until then.
Bye.
Bye.